What is going on, guys, and welcome to a SmackDown review. Now, I hadn't had a SmackDown review in a while, but I watched the show, kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was a decent show, a couple of stuff I want to talk about, so I thought, you know what, let's stick a review on, and let's get right into the review. First, we'll quickly touch on Monday Night Raw. I thought it was an average show, hence why I didn't really do a review for it. Jordan Jason, I thought was decent. Jordan Jason, that isn't what I meant to say. John Jason. Why don't I just say Jordan Cena? Would have been a hell of a lot easier. An okay match. Cena getting the victory. Nice to see. I like Jason Jordan. I know he's getting a lot of critics, but I do like him. Reigns Cena. I enjoyed that. Again, I enjoyed that. Wasn't as fantastic as last week, but it was still a very, very good segment. Cannot wait for their match. It's WrestleMania worthy. I'm trying to think what else happened on the goddamn show. We had the IC title match. Jeff Hardy Miz. Really enjoyed the match, actually. Bleach Report giving it a B-, but I actually enjoyed the match, so I thought it was a decent match. Didn't watch the Cruiserweights part. Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, I'm enjoying it. I have to admit, I know a lot of people go, well, Bray Wyatt's going to lose anyway, and I'm sick of this whole thing, but I'm enjoying their chemistry. Their characters mesh well, and I think it's turning into an okay storyline. Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Championship after Emma and Nia Jax defeated Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss, of course. It had to be multi-women if you're going to put Nia Jax in for the sole purpose, or sole reason, should I say, that Sasha Banks was entitled to a contractually obligated rematch. We then got Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins versus Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson. Again, I thought the matches on Raw were pretty poor, if I'm honest with you. I thought match quality was poor. It wasn't really a newsworthy episode of Raw. No, nothing really much happened. Things sort of moved along, storylines here, there, but nothing big happened. One thing I did enjoy was the steel cage match. Big Show versus Braun Strowman in a steel cage match was just fantastic. And these two have put on, when they have faced each other, 3 matches, 3 brilliant, brilliant matches. And I cannot wait for Big Show, for Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar to step in the ring together. It is going to be damn good. And I have to say, Braun Strowman is by far, at the moment, my favourite wrestler in WWE. He's not just in my top 5. He's not just in my fave 5, as Booker T would say. He's up there. He's first at the moment. I can't even pretend he's not. I mean, I do always love Kevin Owens, so he's always going to be like first. But you know what I mean. He's first, second. I can't split him. So yeah, really enjoyed that. The spot at the end was fantastic. Saw it coming. I knew it was going to happen right from the start because I'd noticed that they seemed to be avoiding a certain side of the ring. So yeah, that I knew it was happening. But that's probably just because I've got that mind of knowing how things are booked and knowing sort of stuff like that. I mean, many people have, and I'm not trying to act like I'm the only one, but yeah. So yeah, an okay episode of Raw, decent way to end. Nice Roman Reigns in that segment, but nothing too newsworthy. Moving on to SmackDown then, and well, this was quite the opposite, a newsworthy show of SmackDown. And SmackDown has kind of been in a bit of a lull at the moment, and I have to say, I've struggled, obviously I watch SmackDown, but I struggle with Jinder Mahal as champion. I really hate it. Like, I can't stand it. It's gone to the point where I just want to pull my eyeballs out when I'm watching the show sometimes when he's on the screen. I hate him that much. It's unbearable to watch him. I can't even think of a time where I've hated a champion more than him. I cannot think of a time. That's the honest truth. In the, 7-8 years I've watched WWE, I cannot think of a... Crazy. Anyway, the first segment basically looks as Carmella is opening the show, and you think to yourself, wow, Carmella opening the show, but no. Out comes Kevin Owens and says, look, you've got a match next, I'm going to be the special guest referee. Give me your shirt, ref. And out comes Shane McMahon. Carmella and James Ellsworth sort of fuck off somewhere, and then what we see is some pretty... This is where SmackDown went from. I was like, oh, it's going to be one of those episodes where shit gets personal. Because if you can remember, there was I don't know, I think it was before WrestleMania, there was an episode of SmackDown where people were just throwing shots. Everyone was just throwing shots at everyone. It was fucking crazy shit. And it felt like, I was like, oh god, we're going to get one of these. It was basically Owens, well, McMahon basically said, you can't blame me for everything, Owens. You know, why you're not successful on SmackDown is because of yourself. Look in the mirror type thing. And what did Owens do? He's not going to take kindly to that. Said, that's just bullshit, Shane. Absolute bullshit. Basically brought up some recent events with Shane. Maybe Daddy didn't give him enough attention. And the recent helicopter crash, that Shane did survive. Thank God he did. And he brought that up. And his kids. And he said, and I quote, your entire family would have been better off if you hadn't survived the crash. He went on and said, your wife, your dad, and especially your kid. I mean, the line was predictable, but it still had such an effect. It was... Some people won't like how serious and personal it got. But they've agreed to it backstage. This is not Owens is not a shot from the hip here. This has been obviously fucking agreed. Shane's okayed it. Shane may have even come up with it. This is entertainment, and this is a way to make your people go, oh, WWE's so fake. It just feels so fake now. They never say anything truthful, and then when they do, they get criticism for it. And I'm not saying there has been a lot of criticism for this, but I would have thought there will have been some criticism. I don't think it went too far. I think it was absolutely perfect. And Shane's reaction, although, professionally you would say unjustified and unjustifiable, it is justifiable. He brought his kids into it, and Shane was standing none of it. I love Kevin Owens. I love him so much. I like Shane as well. I really am down for this feud. So, that was the way it started, and it was like, oh, shit. People were thinking, how is this, at the moment, this rivalry is just going along. How's it really going to kick into gear? Well, it did tonight. We then got on to Natalya versus Carmella, which is what Kevin Owens was meant to be refereeing. Of course, he didn't referee after what happened. And again, it was a match that I really enjoyed. Unlike on Raw, I find it easier to pay attention to SmackDown matches. I think it's mainly because I know I haven't got to sit through 3 hours of a show, and it's only 2 hours, so it's a lot easier to pay attention. When you take off the breaks, it's about an hour and 20. So it's a lot easier to watch the show than it is and keep your attention. And, I don't know, maybe that's the case, but I do find out I can keep my attention there, and I was impressed by this match. The end bit for James Ellsworth is interesting, and the segment that we saw later on, basically, James Ellsworth even costing Carmella the victory against Natalya. Natalya facing Naomi next week in Sin City on SmackDown for the championship rematch from SummerSlam. Natalya getting the win. Didn't look that convincing as champion, but they want to kind of protect the Money in the Bank, so I get it. And Ellsworth costing him, and then we saw what we thought was a breakup between Ellsworth, and then at the end of the show, or just before the main event, I think it was, Ellsworth was apologising. Carmella kissed Ellsworth and then slapped him, and it was like, I don't know, it was like some cheap porno. I didn't know what was going on, and I haven't quite worked out exactly what it is. Whether Carmella or James Ellsworth is now going to be basically Carmella's bitch, I don't know how it's going to go. I'll have to wait and see, but it's certainly interesting nonetheless. I don't like James Ellsworth. I think he really does irritate me, but I've certainly seen a lot of improvements from Carmella in the ring. Natalya's always been fantastic in the ring. I'm glad she's a champion. Her and Naomi, I think, will put on a good match next week, and I have a funny feeling that the Carmella cash-in is coming very, very soon. I'm not saying next week, but I'm saying post Hell in the Cell, she'll have cashed in and she'll be champion. And she and no, when she cashes in, she'll win. There's no way they'll have both lose. We then saw the Dolph Ziggler, whatever the hell we want to call it. I really enjoyed this. It was something very, very different. It reminded me of playing WWE games where you were able to like fucking, you could have Ziggler or Cena come out to fucking Nikki Bella's theme song and be dancing like Nikki Bella, and it's fucking hilarious. It was like that in real life, so I found it funny. Did impersonations of can't remember who the first one was. There was Randy Savage, there was Naomi, and there was it was John Cena. So I thought it was really funny. I don't know. I can't remember what it was because it's literally written in front of me. I just for some reason hadn't actually fucking looked at the screen, which is traditional me. I like it. Bleacher Report have shit on it. C minus. And I don't really know why. A lack of direction. This is his he is like, I have had enough. You don't look. Don't get me wrong. This has to be going somewhere, and whether it is, I'm not 100% sure. And I'm 50-50. I always am with WWE. But if it is going somewhere and Ziggler can go to a darker place, change his attire, new theme, all of that, then I like it. If he's not, then okay, this is kind of pointless. I'll admit that. But I feel like this is alright. I enjoyed it. I thought it was something different. Ziggler got to show how pissed off he was. And got to prove that, look, what is it that we have to have some stupid gimmick? It'd be interesting to see where this goes next week and the week after that and the week after that. It'll probably be a long, drawn-out thing. But hopefully the end game's successful for Ziggler because he is one of the best performers in WWE. So we'll have to wait and see where this character goes for Dolph Ziggler, and I think this is probably the real Dolph Ziggler. He probably deep down is very, very pissed off. I'm not saying he wants to go out and parody all that sort of shit, but he is probably pissed off. Rightfully so. We then got Aiden English versus Sami Zayn in what was probably one of the down points of SmackDown. Lord knows why this match was so quick. English getting a roll-up victory. Zayn looked a little bit stupid, and then Zayn ended up chasing him as if they were playing chase on the playground. Little bit bizarre, not going to lie, but there you go. Maybe it was due to, it could have been, I mean, it says it here, it may have been because of airtime, but, if I always say with segments like this, if you're struggling with airtime, don't do them, cut them. Cut them off the show. Have Aiden English, Sami Zayn go on a dark match after the show. Don't waste it for, like a minute segment. Where this goes, I don't know. They look like they're in a mini feud. I'm really disappointed about Zayn because I thought he was going to come to SmackDown Live and things were going to get better, but he just isn't even being used on SmackDown. It worries me. Although I do have confidence and I do feel there will be a time, give it a couple of months, where he starts to come to the forefront again. And I know people will laugh at me here, but he is one of my outside bets for the Royal Rumble. I know people will go, well, that's miles away, Cameron. It isn't. Like, this is the 9th month for the, September, October, November, December, then we're Royal Rumble season. It's only really 4 months until we start talking about Royal Rumble. I mean, I start talking about Royal Rumble really in October because I'm just fucking ridiculous. But, once you get Survivor Series in the book, which is November time, then you do start to look to the Royal Rumble and the road to WrestleMania, another WrestleMania, fast approaching it. It's not really. Why am I talking as if the road to WrestleMania is close? And I want a proper road to WrestleMania this year. I feel like roads to WrestleMania haven't really meant stuff in the last couple of years. They need to mean a bit more. There definitely needs to be a distinctive change on the shows, in intensity, in desire. But anyway, we'll get onto that when it actually gets to the road to WrestleMania season, if I haven't died by that point. I still think he might, so we'll have to wait and see. And I know you're probably thinking, Cameron, there's no way, but I just do have a feeling. I don't know why. I get the feeling every now and again of superstars coming up who might be in with a shout. I get it every single year at this sort of time. And I'm usually roundabout. I'm not saying they win, but they usually do well in the Rumble, and they're usually the sort of people when it comes down to Royal Rumble season that everyone's talking about. Why am I talking about the Royal Rumble? I really don't know. But, yes, it's a shame that Zayn is basically being wasted on SmackDown. We then get Daniel Bryan bringing out Shane McMahon. Got a call from Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And it was predictable what was going to happen. But nonetheless, the way we got there, I found it entertaining. Daniel Bryan saying, look, I could have hit The Miz back in the day. I didn't. You told me. And then McMahon trying to switch it and say, well, what if he'd have said that to your kids? And Bryan go, no, don't bring those, don't twist it on me, Shane. You overstepped the line. You shouldn't have done what you did. You've done it with AJ. You've done it here with Kevin Owens. You're suspended indefinitely by, and it's been suspended by the COO, COO, and, I don't know why I said COC, cock, don't know what a cock is. And Vincent Kennedy McMuffin. He said, no, I've had enough. Shane, this is enough. Where this is going. See, this is the thing now. I don't know where this is going. Is this how we're writing him off telly? Is the authority coming back? What is going on? I don't know, but I like it because I can talk and I can say, oh, maybe the authority come back. Oh, maybe Shane's just going to be suspended. Vince comes back next week. Kevin begs for a match with Shane McMahon and it goes that way. Look, things can happen anyway in WWE. I always say it like Michael Cole. I'll talk about JBL in a minute because that's just reminded me. But yeah, I mean, it could go anyway. Don't know how it's going to go, and that's why I like it. Really enjoyed the whole Owens, Shane McMahon thing, and I'm loving this feud. I love the Shane McMahon AJ start. I think the reason why I like it is because I like seeing authority figures go up against superstars. And because you don't see it that often, and because it crosses the line, and because I think Shane McMahon is he is a star in the industry. And I'm sorry, but I do believe that. And to be honest with you, I don't understand how anyone could say he isn't a star in the industry. He's not a fantastic wrestler, but he is a star in the industry. Shane McMahon gets a pop every time he goes out. We can't dispute that. He's cheered Shane in a match. The stuff he's done in the ring have been some of the most incredible moments in WWE history and given some of those incredible spots. And his match at WrestleMania with AJ Styles was, in my opinion, one of the better matches of this year. Technically, was it incredible? No. It was a spot fest, and it was one of the most entertaining matches of the year, in my opinion. And it's not just A lot of people agree with me on that. Surprisingly, a lot of people saying that is up there for match of the year. I don't necessarily think I'd go that far, but it was one of the better and more entertaining matches of the year. He can hang with them, and I don't think it's a step down for Owens, much the same as I didn't think it was a step down for AJ Styles. You're stepping in the ring with a McMahon. That is never ever going to be a step down. I don't necessarily think it is. Yes, maybe Owens' talent could be used better, but I disagree. I disagree again, much like I did on the AJ Styles Shane McMahon one. This is going to be good. I said the feud was going to be good for the AJ Styles Shane McMahon one, and it was, and I think universally that's pretty much accepted. It was a decent feud, and the match, I think, again, universally was pretty much enjoyed. Again, I'm going to say this is going to be a good feud, and the match is going to be very, very good too. So yeah, no, I'm very much enjoying this, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes. Not 100% sure where it will go, but it's going to go somewhere nonetheless. But Shane at the moment is suspended, so we'll have to wait and see exactly where it goes. And then got Baron Corbin versus Ty Dillinger. It looks like these three are kind of in a triangle for the US Championship. Nice to see AJ Styles on commentary, and yeah, Connor's Cure because it's Cancer Awareness Month. What a great cause! What a great kid he was. So sad what happened to him. And it's not just him. Many kids that go through it. It's just awful. Bradley Lowery, sorry. Massive in English football last year. He was a little kid who had cancer. Sadly died during at the end of the season. Really, it was really sad. My heart goes out to him. And yeah, it's just so sad. And I think now that when I have a little sister as well, it touches home even more because I look at the age of her and I look at the age of some of these, and it just breaks my heart. I couldn't live if something like that happened to her. It just it makes me very sad. It is very sad, but that's why we need to keep fighting, keep trying to find a cure, and trying to make it so that as many as these little kids get the chance to live a life. It's just horrific. But back onto Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger. Great work from WWE. And when do people criticise WWE? People that don't watch WWE, you can't criticise them for this. The Make-A-Wish stuff they do, the bullying stuff they do, the stuff for cancer. They make people's childhoods. When I get older, I will look back on my childhood, and a lot of it will be connected to WWE. And and it's not just, and that's normal kids, normal everyday kids like me, But if I had a bad day at school, I'd come on, I'd put WWE. They make such an impact, and we should never ever dispute that, because it is incredible what they do for normal people and for people who really need that help and need fantastic memories. It's a fantastic company. It's a fantastic business and industry. I love it, and I'm truly in love with the WWE. It's a beautiful company, and I'm so glad that I'm, even as a fan, part of the WWE. We are like a cult. People say that we're like a cult who hate WWE. They say, WWE fans are like a cult. You know what? If this is a cult, deal me in. So yeah, Corbin versus Ty Dillinger went off on a tangent. Gotta love it. Corbin getting a victory, but after cheating, basically, after a cheap shot. Styles saying you were just a cheap shot artist. And basically next week in Sin City, we're getting another championship match. No, we're not. Are we? Are we getting it? Oh, I swear they did, but then I feel like there's a promo where it said there were only 2 matches that were for the championship. But actually there's 3, because we are getting, what I didn't mention, a Sin City even, street fight between the Usos and the New Day. I expect Xavier Woods not to take part, because obviously he's still nursing that injury, although it's not as bad as we all first thought and feared. So that's good news. So yeah, that should be a great match. We've got Naomi versus Natalya. Little predictions. Natalya will win. The Usos. I'm going to go for the Usos are going to win. And I'm going to go for AJ Styles to retain as well. So yeah, Ty Dillinger versus AJ Styles next week. You want to bet your life that Baron Corbin's going to somehow come out and interrupt. Corbin's certainly been down the pecking order. There's a lot of talk about as to why it is. We won't get into that today. It's a shame because I like him. He's got one of the best finishers in WWE. I think he's a really good talent. I'm a massive Baron Corbin fan, and what is happening to him really is upsetting to a Baron Corbin fan, but hopefully he'll bounce back. And I'm liking this kind of 3-way thing for the US title as well. But I do hope after this is all done with, we do get the proper US title open challenge from AJ Styles. And be interesting. I don't know how much that shoulder pad went on WWE.com on auction. Be interested to see. If anybody knows, let me know either on Snapchat or down in the comments below, because I'd be interested to see. I mean, I could search it up, but I'm a lazy fuck and I'll probably forget when I stop this video. Moving on to the main event, Nakamura versus Orton. Loved it. Absolutely loved this match. I mean, Again, Bleacher Report giving it a B+. I think it's harsh. I'd give this an A-. Really enjoyed it. High intensity right from the start. Orton looked like he was going for the RKO. And, they call him the king of strong style. He's a king of countering the RKO. That counter, right, where he put him into the armbar, was one of the best counters of the year. Period. Fucking period. Loved it. Great match. Jinder Mahal better be worried because Nakamura, the Japanese legend, is taking your title. Great match. Orton looking great. Be interested to see where Orton goes from here. Maybe continues his feud with Rusev. But we are going to get Jinder Mahal versus Nakamura inside a steel cage. Inside Hell in a Cell, rather. I did a JBL there. And on JBL, we'll talk about that in a minute, like I said. But yeah, can't wait for Hell in the Cell. Can't wait for this match. Which will no doubt be in a Hell in a Cell. They haven't confirmed that yet, but it will be. And because of Jinder Mahal's style, the fact is Hell in a Cell will work successfully for him. I don't like his style, but in a Hell in a Cell, it will be decent. And hopefully it's time for Nax to get the title off Jinder. So yeah, great way to end the show. Went backstage, and Kevin Owens was there. And then they confirmed that no chance, he's back next week, Mr. McMahon. And I'll tell you the one thing I always love about the crowd, right? People shit on Vince McMahon. Smarks shit on Vince McMahon all the time. Fuck him, he's out of touch, he's this. But you want to bet, right? When he comes out to the ring next week, he ain't going to get booed. He's going to get cheered. Everybody loves him. Like, they'll be chanting his name. They'll be singing the fucking theme song. It's like, Smarks make me die sometimes. They really do. But anyway, that's it for this SmackDown review. Shame that JBL has left the commentary team, but I understand totally. I really enjoyed his commentary. I thought he was a clever commentator. I loved him. He was one of my favourite commentators. I know it's not necessarily a popular opinion, but it was mine. So, yeah, but Corey Graves is fantastic. Corey and Byron have great chemistry. Not like that. Tom Phillips. I don't mind Tom Phillips either. I think he's a decent one as well. A lot of people want Mauro Ranallo, but that's not going to happen. Mauro Ranallo. I don't really know how to say his name properly. I know he retweeted me once on Twitter, so yeah. But he retweets everyone on Twitter, so it's not really a specialty. But anyway, yeah, so it's a shame, but nice to see you still being going on in WWE, and I wouldn't be surprised if he popped up here, there, and everywhere. So thank you for your service, JBL. It sounds like you served the country. I didn't mean it like that, but thank you for being a great commentator and making SmackDown Live the show that it is, the land of opportunity. Lots to talk about, lots to speculate. That means it's a very, very good show. WWE is quite hot at the moment. The buzz around WWE at the moment seems to be there or thereabouts. That's it for this review. If you haven't enjoyed it, please leave a like. I think it's pretty clear for me. Maybe not for you, but we'll have to wait and see. Who do you think won this week? I'm giving the win to SmackDown. Owens and McMahon face to face next week. But it's not the McMahon we all thought it would be. Vincent Kennedy McMahon is back.